This is the Awesome Padron podcast. Thank you.
You were singing like you had to like be very quiet. Like we had other people like that couldn't listen.
We have Jake under the table.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jake. Jake is our dog, by the way. He's not,
Yeah, our little chihuahua.
Not just some guy we have sitting on the table.
Yeah, it's not like we have a gimp or anything.
Yeah.
Living with us under the table.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, how y'all feeling today? Yeah. Well,
Were you asking us or the audience?
I don't know. Whoever wants to answer.
Because
Hey,
you kind of moved on without letting us answer if it's towards us.
if you want to answer that question, you can go and answer.
It's like Dora the Explorer. The audience can answer along with your questions.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hopping on here, hopping on this thing.
What?
Hopping,
Don't ever say that again.
hopping over here and checking us out. And like I always say, if you hate what we have, oh my God,
You're all over today.
If you like what we have to say but hate what you have to see, then head on over to Google Play, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
So proud of you.
Apple Podcasts.
I'm actually happy that you said it right that time because we were looking at our viewership, you know, and most of our listeners come from Apple Podcasts. So it's nice that you finally.
Apple Podcasts.
They were getting mighty offended over there.
Yeah. Yeah, we lost
I
all
also
of them.
found out that somebody listens to us in Australia, which is
yeah.
pretty cool. So to our Australian listener,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, if you're still listening.
Wasn't there somebody like in Alaska?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's America. We don't,
That's still the USA.
Yeah, that's not that cool.
that's not
Even though technically it's Canada, it's connected to Canada, not America.
yeah, whoever. Alaska. I've never been to Alaska. I want to go there.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Like it's really nice. Like the scenery, like everywhere you go, no matter where you go, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, we went during the summer when we were kids, and it was and it's in the summer whenever it's daylight a long time, right? Because I know when we went it was like that, but I don't know if it was specific years or anything.
Do they give you $100 when you drive in, like in the Simpsons movie?
No.
It's funny because we went. What was it? 2005 or 2006? It was one of those years.
Yeah.
I think it was 2005. So it was pretty recently before the Simpsons movie came out. So I just remember when I saw the Simpsons movie, it was exciting because we had just gone to Alaska.
But it was really beautiful. It was weird it staying light throughout the whole day. Because I don't even remember it getting dark.
Yeah.
Because and you would think it was like 7 or 8, and it was like midnight.
Right.
And you're like, oh crap, I need to go to sleep because I have a lot of stuff planned the next day.
Well, I guess I'm about to say something. I don't know if it's gonna be stupid or not. I guess it's further towards
Oh goodness.
towards
Let's
the, part
go.
of the part of the earth that the sun stays on.
The sun stays on. Does the sun live on the earth?
Yeah, we're not on that part of the earth. You know what I'm saying? We're on the.
We did go dog sledding on a glacier though, so that was exciting.
You went dog sledding on the glacier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we rode a helicopter and we landed on a glacier, and then we went dog sledding from there.
Like some dogs were running y'all around places.
Yeah, and then we were on a sled. And
So now
like
now you can walk a dog and be like, I know what you're going through.
Yep. It was pretty cool.
It's like the movie Snow Dogs. We know firsthand experience.
Yeah, there was one point because Zach was a kid when we went. Not young, but how old was?
Well, if it was summer of 2005, I was 9.
Yeah, so he was old enough. He's old enough to remember it. But it was funny because there was a part where we knew we were about to go down like a bigger hill than we had been on. Yeah. And so the dog sledder stopped, like our instructor, and he stopped and he was like, all right, guys, so just so you know, because I had to sit in this, well, one of us had to sit in the sleigh, and then one person stood on behind and like held on basically to handles. Yeah. And he's like, just so y'all know, I'm stopping because whoever's going to be standing up, you're going to have to hold on tight or you're going to go flying off. Yeah. He's like, we will go back for you, but just know that that's a possibility. Yeah. So Zach was like, well, I want to be the one on the back that's holding on. And so he was back there, and I could see him out of the corner of my eye. I mean, we're going fast, so I can't really turn my head, but I could kind of see him, and he's like just holding on for dear life, and he's like struggling to stay on.
Like when we went downhill, there's literally a moment where my feet left the ground.
Really?
I was like literally in the air for a second.
I want to do that. I want to go to Alaska. There's a lot of places I want to go. Preferably whenever there's not a virus, a worldwide virus. Well, mainly U.S.-wide virus.
Yes.
Right.
Because I don't think the other countries like us too much right now.
So whenever it goes away, I'm like, I'll wear a shirt like, hey, I'm not, I don't like being here either. Yes.
All right, so now into some movie news.
Yeah. Now that we spent like 7 minutes
Talking about Alaska.
I don't know how we got on that subject.
To that one Alaskan viewer, like,
that's right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. We're talking all about you.
We made Alaska famous. We put Alaska on the map just now.
To that one Alaskan viewer, go over to YouTube. Let us know how it is living in Alaska.
Oh, and check our Two Awesome Men channel too.
Two Awesome Men, not just the Alaskan viewer, but just everyone.
Everyone. That was a general statement.
Yeah. I mean, the Alaskan viewer can also go check out our YouTube channel too. But yeah, Two Awesome Men on YouTube.
All right, so the Marvel news.
Yeah, so we're like a week late. When did they announce this? Like last Thursday?
Yeah, and we were gonna film a podcast, but things just kept coming up, like the worst possible timing.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not getting paid for this yet, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, because me and Zach work opposite schedules of Marquez, and Marquez. He's usually off Thursdays, but he switched, so then he wasn't off Thursday. But then we were still gonna film that night, but then Zach's phone stopped working, or his charger stopped working. So
then we were gonna film on Saturday because I switched the shift, and then my family came over because it was like it's been 6 years since my cousins started living with my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
So we were celebrating that, and they stayed a long time, like till 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so just things kept getting in the way, and so thankfully we're doing this. But
yeah.
I'll just look it up. What is the Marvel? What's it called?
Investors Day.
Investors.
I'm pretty sure it was last Thursday.
Yeah. So I'll look it up just so we can know what we're talking about. But
I did want to say real quick that the Lizzie McGuire reboot is definitely not happening.
Yeah. Hilary Duff confirmed.
I'm so sad about that.
Yeah, especially because like they filmed like 2 or 3 episodes already, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they can't just, like, release those episodes and see how people feel about it. Especially because they have Hulu. Like, the reason that, if y'all didn't know, the reason why they canceled it is because they felt it was too mature. Because the original showrunner came back, Hilary Duff came back, and they were planning on doing it where she was, like, dealing with adult problems and all that.
Yeah.
Which sounds pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I guess Disney thought it was too adult, so they stopped.
Which is honestly even stupider if you think about the fact that all these... I'm not going to say these Marvel movies are going to be, like, a completely adult-oriented. Yeah. But if you think about the fact that they're going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they're not kiddish.
Yeah, they made a hide the zucchini joke.
Yeah.
With the Hulk.
Yeah, so I mean... They're not like child based. Like they're fun for children. Yeah. But they're not like for children. You know. So I mean, I don't understand what they mean by it's too adult. I guess compared to like their boy meets or girl meets world or
Raven's Home
kiddish shows. I mean, comparatively.
Was Lizzie McGuire even gonna have a kid in the show?
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't think they announced it. I'm just saying that, you know, she's 30 years old. She's not gonna be dealing with things that she dealt with when she was 13.
Yeah.
And it's also an issue of like, are they gonna have adult shows then?
Yeah. And in the comments, you know, I was reading where people were saying this Lizzie McGuire reboot was made more for the people of the original Lizzie McGuire fans. It wasn't made for kids now growing up. Like they could maybe watch it, but it's not. When they announced Lizzie McGuire, the kids today didn't get excited because it's not for them.
Exactly, because like. They own Fox now, so are they still gonna have like shows like It's Always Sunny?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like that's definitely
that's on
not.
Hulu, and they moved Love Victor to Hulu. Love Victor is like a sequel to Love, Simon, but it's a TV show.
Yeah. And
it was supposed to be on Disney Plus, but because it dealt with adult themes, they moved it to Hulu. So if you're gonna move that show to Hulu because of adult themes, just move Lizzie McGuire to Hulu because of adult themes.
Yeah.
It's really stupid. But what the thing we were talking about just a little bit ago was Disney Investor Day, where they announced a whole bunch of their upcoming stuff.
Now here's a list of 52 things Disney announced.
Oh my goodness!
But They did categorize it. So,
okay, good. So we can talk about it in categories.
Yeah, so we'll start with the Marvel Disney Plus series, if you want to start off with that. So we have the WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Loki.
Yeah,
and
they released trailers for all three of those. Yeah. New trailers.
The only thing they haven't released a trailer for was Hawkeye, and then What If.
Right.
Oh
yeah, they released a trailer for What If too. Yeah.
But like it was like a narration kind of.
Yeah. The only thing they didn't really release any kind of trailers I don't know. They have like set photos of Hawkeye, but they don't have like any.
And Haley Steinfeld was confirmed to be. I was about to say Kitty Pryde. That's an X-Men character.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. Yeah.
Kate Bishop. Yeah.
And there's like you said, there's set photos of her and Jeremy Renner on the set.
But nothing officially released from
Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
But what were you saying?
Sorry. I was just gonna say that the one that I'm most excited about is WandaVision.
Yeah. Really, which is weird because I wasn't expecting that to be the one I was really excited about.
Yeah.
Because I'll say I'm not gonna act like I'm not excited about Falcon and Winter Soldier or Loki. And I don't want this to come off as me saying anything bad about Marvel movies, but it's just Marvel movies in TV series form, you know. Which doesn't mean I'm not excited. It means I am excited about them.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about such a different take that WandaVision's taking on.
Yeah.
You know, that's honestly why I'm probably the most excited about it. Because it looks so different, and it looks like something that if they get right, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because it seems like they're gonna deal with like Wanda. Like dealing with the Vision's death in Infinity War and like causing like a split in the multiverse kind of like where she's like living life. Her and Vision are living life as like a perfect couple and like a perfect sitcom world, and they're going through all these decades of sitcoms and all that. So I think it's a pretty cool idea. It might sound like a stupid and dumb idea to a lot of people at first, but once you really think about it, it's kind of not depressing, but it's kind of interesting.
Which I mean, if you think like if you ever go and watch our YouTube videos, it kind of falls like a lot into our kind of our opinion, like our taste in movies, just like weird movies.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Very strange, wacky movies. It almost feels it doesn't remind me of it, but like the concept almost feels like they got someone from like A24 to come produce it.
Right. Yeah.
You know. Just because of how it's like so against the grain of Marvel, which I'm hoping it actually is. I'm hoping that we're getting these trailers and then we watch it and it's not as wacky as we're hoping it would be. Yeah. You know, but I really do hope it's like pretty much what the trailers are going for.
And I always forget that Evan Peters was cast in that. So, and they have said that WandaVision's going to lead directly into Doctor Strange 2. And now they've recently said that Spider-Man 3 is going to lead into Doctor Strange 2. So they're obviously going to, including all the rumors that have been going on with Spider-Man 3.
Should we talk about that on the last podcast?
We probably did, but I just want to say that all those combined, it's pretty obvious that they're going to be setting up the multiverse. So I don't know if you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say that the reason why that one excites me more because it feels more like a thriller kind of because even there's a scene in the trailer the first trailer that they've released where Vision is talking to a girl in the car. I forgot who the actress name is, and she was like, this isn't right or something, and then it kind of like glitches and I don't know, it just it gives you an eerie vibe, and so that's why I personally am excited about it,
which is exciting because it's honestly one of the main reasons why I love Marvel. And especially this, it really shows in this idea of not playing it safe, not just throwing something passable out, you know? And I'm not going to, I mean, other Marvel movies, most Marvel movies, they do have a formulaic way of being made, but overall they do have ways of not playing it safe.
Right.
Civil War was a good example. I mean, it was a comic book, but it was a good example of not playing it safe, especially with such character changes.
Right.
Especially how they like built up like this big finale fight, but it ended up being a more personal fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Between Iron Man and Captain America.
Exactly.
And with Loki, the reason why that's probably my least favorite that's coming out is because we've seen, and I know this is a different Loki in a different timeline, but for me, Loki's been played out. You know, he was the villain in Thor. He was the villain in the first Avengers. He always had this conflict with Thor in all of his movies. So it's kind of like when he died, it was great, and I loved it.
And I even love like the Thanos line where it's like no resurrections this time.
Yeah,
because like it felt like a final thing. But
and also they're taking away some of the most interesting things about Loki that was built up.
Yeah, the character development that he went through.
Yeah,
after the first Avengers movie.
I mean, they're not taking it away, but we're now introduced to a character that never went through that.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and in one case you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but in another case it's like, well, he wasn't really. He stopped being interesting to me until about like Thor, like somewhere like Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
You know, like an interesting character. You know, because I wasn't a huge fan of him. In Thor, he was cool. In Avengers, I felt like it was cool using him. You know, I don't know if I've talked about it, but I feel like I really liked that they used him because I thought it was genius because the opposite of pretty much everything Justice League did was they had a character as the villain who was already introduced, so they really needed to do a lot with him.
Right.
You know, they just had to work on their building of the relationship between all the characters.
Yeah, the team. Yeah,
the team. But then after a while, it's like he's been used so many times. Yeah. You know? And then he finally died, and his death was really great, honestly. It was really great. Like, it was like, oh, man, he died. It's sad. Yeah. There's a part of your brain saying, like, man, it's so sad. I wish he wouldn't die. But it's like, yeah, it was kind of time for him.
Yeah,
because he had gone through his character arc that we've talked about, you know? Like, he had redeemed himself with his brother. Him and his brother were going to go off and be brothers together wherever they were going to land. And then Thanos comes in and he still is fighting with Thor instead of betraying him. Yeah. And there is a split second where you could think, oh, maybe he is going to betray him, but then he doesn't. You know, and then his last line, you know, the sun will shine on us again. Like it's such an emotional buildup, and then now this is kind of like taking it out because even, like I said, I know it's a different Loki because it's a different timeline, but it's just, he went out so well. Why keep it going?
Yeah, it's almost like a Darth Vader character, to where like a character has caused so much genocide. Yeah. Like when they redeem themselves, they kind of have to die. Yeah. Because it'd be kind of weird if they stayed alive and after everything they've done. Right. It'd be kind of weird if they just made them a completely good character now.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like in I don't know why his friend popped in my mind, but G.I. Joe. the first G.I. Joe with Channing Tatum's wife.
I don't even remember the first one that much. To be honest.
I don't know why.
I was thinking more King Kong, or not King, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
That's a good example.
Oh yeah,
that's a good example. I'm saying G.I. Joe is a bad example. With Channing Tatum, whenever his wife became like this really horrible woman, started killing these people. And the end of it's like, it's all right.
It's cool. And also Jurassic World, Dallas Bryce Howard's character. Yeah, is her name Dallas Bryce Howard or Bryce Dallas Howard? I always get those.
Bryce
Dallas Howard. Yeah, her character, like she probably wasn't like the direct cause, but she is pretty indirectly the cause of all these people's death. And at the end of the movie, she's like, she doesn't get arrested or anything or prosecuted.
It's okay. You said you're sorry. So.
But yeah, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Vera Farmiga's character was
because I mean, she caused she basically almost caused mass. I mean, she did kind of, and then she does redeem herself. Yeah. But then it's kind of like, well, she has to die because how is she going to be integrated back into society after she's the cause of all of this?
Yeah, exactly. Redeeming a character like that is very important, but it's the idea of like you can't redeem them so much that it's like, okay, you're good.
Yeah, you're forgiven.
Yeah, you're forgiven. You can redeem them enough of like, okay, they've seen the opposite side and what they actually need to do to fix things. But they can only fix things so much.
Exactly.
So they kind of need to die. Yeah. But
and then what's the next one?
We haven't talked about Falcon Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, I'm probably a little bit more excited about that than Loki.
I am excited how they're gonna make Sam kind of become the Captain America persona.
Yeah.
Like we did see Captain America give him his shield, but now how is society gonna perceive that now this is the Captain America?
Yeah, and it is kind of interesting what they're doing with Wyatt Russell. Kurt Russell's son's character. The government wants him to be the next Captain America figure instead of Sam, so it's gonna be interesting.
It's also pretty sad that we're not gonna get into this until January 15th. Like I thought WandaVision, for some reason I thought WandaVision was coming out in December.
Oh, yeah, I think it was, but it might have been delayed. I don't know if
I guess that makes sense. But
it's just sad that this is going to be the first thing we see from Marvel.
Yeah, in over a year.
We haven't even seen Black Widow. We were supposed to see that back in May.
Yeah. So
you're trying to do the Superman curl, by the way, in your hair.
Am I? Yeah. Oh goodness, I am. I didn't even notice.
People listening can't see it, but he has a little curl. Like
if you want to come look at my if you want to come look at the curl of my hair, come over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
But you can keep going. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was talking about the curl of my hair, but there's okay. So we have. Well, they didn't really talk about a lot about Hawkeye. We talked about it a second. Yeah. But there's a What If series, which is pretty cool. It's gonna be our last.
Don't say it.
Our last Chadwick Boseman
performance as Black Panther, which is it's a really random choice because if you don't know, What If is gonna be an animated series with the actual MCU actors coming to voice their actual characters, but it's like different scenarios of like what if so and so did so and so, like what if Peggy Carter got the super serum soldier serum instead of Chris Evans? No, it's Chris Evans. Steve Rogers.
Yeah, it's pretty much using the multiverse. Making a show out of the multiverse.
Right. Exactly. So Black Panthers is what if T'Challa was kidnapped by Yondu instead of Star-Lord, Peter Quill,
which is kind of. Like you said, kind of weird. I don't know.
It's just random. It's not necessarily weird. It's just random.
But before the trailer was released at the Investors Day, we kind of didn't know how these stories were going to take place. Like, is it going to be like, oh, here's what if this happened? Mm-hmm. But it's kind of cool that they're using the
Watcher.
The Watcher.
Yeah, so it's things are actually. What are you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that, like, I can't remember the character's name, but it's like it starts with a U.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be voiced by Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, the Watcher, which I'm glad they're bringing him in.
Yeah,
because I know he's like the main Watcher that people know of. Because I know Stan Lee was confirmed to be a Watcher, but this is the main, pretty much the biggest Watcher. Yeah. I don't know a lot about him.
Right.
I just know that he's like the main Watcher.
Same.
And so it's kind of cool that it seems like it's actually not just like what if, but like things that have actually happened in other universes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's not just going to be random. Yeah. It's going to be the Watcher's going to kind of connect all of it.
Yeah. So
I am interested in seeing some of the ones because some of the ones that they showed in the little teaser trailer, whatever, they haven't really talked about. Like, I can't remember what some of them were, but I'm just interested to see what all of them are going to be.
Right. Oh, it's just going to be so sad to hear Chadwick Boseman. I really wish they would have filmed Black Panther 2 before. I mean, I know they didn't know, but I just feel like Black Panther came out so long ago that they should have already been filming. Mm-hmm. But
which that's I don't know if it's on the list, but that is one thing that they did announce that they are not gonna recast. Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther,
which I agree with.
Which we've talked about.
I'm curious on what they're gonna do with the character. If they're gonna have him just die off screen or. Yeah. How they're going to write them out.
Yeah. Because we've talked about who we want to take over the Black Panther mantle. Yeah. And Shuri obviously is my number one vote. I really feel like since she's T'Challa's sister, she should take over. But if they're not ready for her to take over, like they think she's too young or she needs to be more developed, then I would really like to see M'Baku.
Yeah, M'Baku. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He'd be pretty good, especially since like he fought him in the beginning of the first movie.
Yeah, and he went through that because they had been isolated for so long, and then to see him come in Black Panther and fight, and then even in Infinity War, he was still fighting with T'Challa. Yeah. So it'd be nice to see how he's changed since he wanted to be Black Panther in the first movie.
Yeah, and then they also announced Riri Williams for Ironheart, which is pretty cool. Yeah. They're making a show off of that. They announced, this has been announced for a while, but they've released a few more things about it. Miss Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
They talked about that a little more.
Yeah, they said that she's going to be in Captain Marvel too. Mm-hmm. And I've heard that they're going to have like a Tony Stark, Peter Parker relationship. Mm-hmm. Where Miss Marvel looks up to Captain Marvel, which they kind of had that in like set photos for Miss Marvel, because I think she has like a helmet that looks a lot like Captain Marvel's helmet.
Which a lot of people are pretty stupid, and they're like, "Oh, look at what a stupid costume!" Oh yeah, like it's like I don't think that people understand that like kids aren't like, and especially if you want to make them interesting, they're not going to be these really rich kids that are able to make these really well done, put together costumes.
Exactly.
Like Like I don't know if we talked about it before. Like Peter Parker, one of the main reasons why I didn't mind his Spider-Man suit. I'm not gonna act like I love the tech suit. Yeah. But one of the main reasons why I didn't mind it is it's hard for you. Like it's hard to suspend your disbelief, which you can. You know, I would do it. Yeah. But it makes more sense that his original suit would be bad. Yeah. And his next suit. Yeah, would be Tony Stark because he wouldn't be able to put together such like a well done suit.
Exactly. You know, especially with them being. I mean, he even said that he like dumpster dived for a lot of his equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then like if Tony Stark made his costume, it wouldn't make sense that he wouldn't make it really advanced.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean. And I just think it's cool that they're doing that. Like I was telling you, I've seen a few people who said the costume was stupid. I'm like, it's probably not her official costume.
Exactly.
It's just like something she's doing because she looks up to Captain Marvel.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And then what else? Wasn't there something about Nick Fury?
Nick Fury is gonna have his own show. I forgot what it's called. I know War Machine is gonna have his own show. Called like Armor Wars, I think. Yeah. Oh, I know it is. It's Secret Invasion. They're gonna do a Secret Invasion series, which I'm curious on who all they're gonna have in that show. Yeah. Because I doubt it's just gonna be Nick Fury.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's just the person they announced just.
When are they gonna?
Isn't Talos gonna be in it?
Who?
Or is Talos?
Talos?
Talos.
Yeah.
Talos.
Yeah. I'm also interested in where they're gonna put. Because, you know, in the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, they revealed that Nick Fury was switched. Yeah. So I'm wondering when they're going to, like, show when he was switched.
Because we have a video where we theorize that it was during The Winter Soldier. But if you want to watch that, we can put the link up there.
Yeah. Because that, for me, that theory works the best. But I don't know if they're thinking that far back.
No. What else we got?
What are some of the others? I'm just excited for all these. They've announced so many Marvel series. I know some people might have gotten overwhelmed from that. I've seen people in the comments say it's kind of overwhelming, but I'm actually really excited because you can dive into characters so much more in like a TV series than you can in a movie. So I'm just excited that a lot of these characters are getting.
They also have the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hopefully it's better than the Star Wars Christmas specials.
And didn't they announce Mark Ruffalo is going to be in She-Hulk, and then Abomination is going to come back?
Yeah, with the same actor and everything. Yeah. So they're finally they've kind of already had mentions to the Incredible Hulk with what's that Ross guy?
Yeah,
General Ross. He was on Civil War and Infinity War, so they've kind of technically already had it, but now they're.
Are we gonna mention Betty Ross? Like, is she gonna? Is she gonna come back?
It is interesting. I'm because I have been curious on where Abomination has been this whole time. I wonder if he's been on the raft. That was in Civil War.
Oh, maybe
and they mentioned the raft on Jessica Jones season 3. So.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. And then we have a few movie announcements. We already went over a few of them: Black Panther 2 and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Then there is the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh yeah, that has
was
a big
really
thing.
Sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad because the girl who played Cassie, that's her name, right? Scott Lang's daughter.
Yeah.
Who played her in Avengers Endgame? They recast her.
Yeah.
So just to clear up, so in the Ant-Man movie, she was a little girl. Mm-hmm. Then in Endgame, because of the 5-year time jump, they got a new actress. Yeah. And that's the actress that got recast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who is the new actress?
Catherine
Newton.
Yeah.
Something Newton. She was on a few movies I've seen.
Yeah. She was on Detective Pikachu.
She was on Supernatural.
She's on a show. I haven't watched it,
Castiel's daughter.
She's on a show called The Society on Netflix that people talk about.
Well, she wasn't Castiel's daughter, but she was the guy's who Castiel was using as a vessel. His daughter. That's who she played. But yeah, I don't really understand why they felt they needed to do that. I don't know if there's some things behind the scenes that we don't know.
I had thought originally like maybe she just didn't have the time for it, but it was announced that she didn't even find out about it.
Yeah, because she tweeted out saying that she found out at the same time everybody else found out, which is really sad and really
weird when people do that. It is.
Why not just tell the actors, hey, we're gonna recast you?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be sad, but at least at least you're a man about it and just telling them up front.
Yeah, especially Disney. You have a lot of money. Like you could tell these people, but she was respectable. She didn't. I mean, I'm sure she is mad, but in her tweet, at least, she didn't make it seem like she was mad. She was like, I was honored to be a part of one of the biggest movies ever, and I hope that the MCU can find some other role for me in the future. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I've seen some people say that it was done because of, is her name Catherine Noon? I feel like her name isn't Catherine.
I'm pretty sure it's Catherine. I'm not sure if we're getting the last name right.
But some people were saying that she is more recognizable, and she is. But, like, I mean, the MCU has already built up credibility.
Yeah, why does it matter if someone's more recognizable?
Yeah, no, yeah, like, they don't need a recognizable face in their movies anymore. I mean, Miss Marvel's a complete unknown. She literally only had one picture on the internet when she was cast.
Yeah, it is Catherine Newton.
Catherine Newton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's also sad because, I mean, it's like I don't think people realize, like, because some people are like, well, she's barely in game, but the thing is, like, we got our first emotion. We got such a great emotion with her whenever. Yeah,
she acted really good too.
Yeah, whenever she sees him.
Yeah, and she looks a lot. She honestly looks a lot more like the younger actress who played Cassie in the first two Ant-Man movies than Catherine Newton does. Catherine Newton doesn't look anything like the actress who played the
even if she dyed her hair brown, like she doesn't look anything like the younger actress.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why at all they did it.
Yeah, and Disney hasn't released why.
Yeah, and so because of that scene in Endgame, we grew, like, even though it's not like a huge, we grew a slight connection to that face.
And I've seen a few people say this, and it's true. It really feels like a phase one decision.
Yeah,
to where they recast, because they've done so well with continuity.
Yeah,
since the first phase one.
Because, like, the only reason Terrence Howard was recasted because there was money issues, and they weren't sure, because Iron Man is the first one. Again, Iron Man was a huge deal,
right?
Yeah.
And so they didn't know that they were gonna have this whole world building, and so Terrence Howard asked for more money, and Marvel said, no, we can't give that to you. And especially because at that time they hadn't been bought by Disney.
Right.
So they said no, and Terrence Howard was like, well, I'm out. So then that's when Don Cheadle came in. But that's really the only recasting.
And then there was the Hulk. There was the Hulk, and then Tony Stark's dad. And those are all pretty much in phase one.
Yeah, which Tony Stark's dad, I didn't mind, because the first one was in the 1940s with Captain America. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, actually, the first one was in Iron Man 2, which was the older version.
Yeah.
And then the one in Captain America was in the 40s. So that one made sense, even though they didn't look anything alike.
Yeah.
But it actually at least made sense why the recast needed to happen.
Yeah, and then with Edward Norton, like, it's obvious. A lot of people talk about it that he's hard to work with. When he came into the Avengers movie, he had a lot of ideas, and they said no, and so he left. Yeah, and that's when Mark Ruffalo came in. So those decisions made sense. This one doesn't make sense, especially because the actress didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it might sound weird as, like, saying, like, talking, like, so, like, passionate about it, because she was barely in the movies, like, she was barely in Endgame. But it's like, it's just sad that the first face we see, that emotion that we see with Scott Lang, it's gonna be a different face. So it's gonna be hard to correlate the first emotion we saw there.
Exactly. Right.
So it's just gonna be sad. And I mean, we'll get used to it. Unfortunately, but like you said, it just seems like a phase one decision. Like something they couldn't deal with, and I just don't know why they did it. It's almost like Sony's decision on Peter Parker.
Yeah, I know, right? With the PlayStation 5 game.
Yeah.
Which we talked about that.
I'll say not nearly as bad, but it's
right.
It's like a thing of, like, it's not broken, don't fix it. Like,
exactly.
Nobody watched Endgame like, I don't know who that is. I've never seen that girl before in the movie. Why did they pick an unknown? You know?
Like I said, I don't know if there's, like, behind the scenes stuff that happened, which I don't know what it could be, but it does seem like a really weird decision.
One thing I'm pretty excited about, and I think they can pull it off, is Fantastic Four.
Yes. I'm praying that this Fantastic Four,
which I wish they would have announced them in the casting, but maybe they're still going through that process.
I wonder Man,
John Krasinski better be Mr. Fantastic.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah, and Emily Blunt better be Invisible Woman.
I think I'll be happy with hopefully happy with whoever they choose because they're pretty good with choosing people. Yeah. I'll be happy if they do that.
It's gonna be better than Miles Teller as Mr. Fantastic.
I don't know. Maybe they just bring back all the actors from Fantastic.
Yeah.
Bring them all back.
Even Michael B. Jordan, come back.
Yeah. Bring them all back.
Yeah, it is interesting because the director of the MCU Spider-Man movies, Homecoming and Far From Home, what's his name?
John Watts.
Yeah, John Watts. He's going to be directing the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
So I wonder what if he's still going to direct the future Spider-Man movies. Is he directing the third one?
He's there.
I'm sure he is because I haven't heard an announcement that they switched directors.
I can't imagine they wouldn't because I mean he's still directing other movies in the MCU, so I can't imagine that because usually. It seems like once they have a director and he's gone, he's kind of gone.
Yeah.
Because like the one channel we watched, 3C's Films, he mentioned what if they moved John Watts to the Fantastic Four so that they could have Sam Raimi be the new director for the new Spider-Man movies, the Tom Holland movies. Because they already have him for Doctor Strange 2, so he's already working with the MCU.
We also, me and Zach talked about that. Because you know how Sony made a deal with Disney that Spider-Man was at least going to have his own solo movie and a team-up movie.
Did you say solar movie?
Well, I might have, but solo movie.
Yeah.
And then a team-up movie. That's the only thing that they've officially announced or officially came to agreement on. So what if the team-up movie is Fantastic Four?
Yeah. It could either be Fantastic Four or Doctor Strange 2, which it could be neither of those two.
Yeah.
It probably is neither of those, but considering Doctor Strange 2 is going to lead, Spider-Man 3 is going to lead into Doctor Strange 2.
Or it could be Deadpool.
That too. Or Daredevil. Which we haven't talked about. I don't think we've talked about, because I think these announcements came after our last episode of the podcast. So Alfred Molina, who played Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, he has been confirmed to be in Spider-Man 3 as Dr. Octopus again.
And then Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in talks.
Yeah, it's being heavily rumored that they're in talks.
And then their girlfriends are also...
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone.
I think it's kind of rumored that they're going to be bringing back Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, and Thomas Hayden Church.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Who went to UNT, the same college we went to.
And the reason why we're saying Daredevil is because Marvel just got the rights back.
Yeah, back in November.
Yeah, because I don't know if we've talked about it, but when Netflix decided to cancel the Marvel shows on their platform, they said, okay, but you can't use these characters for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so Daredevil's is now ended. So they can now use Daredevil however they want. Mm-hmm. So that's why a lot of people are hoping that he somehow makes it into Spider-Man.
Right.
Because it's been rumored, but it's just a rumor right now.
Yeah.
And they better bring back Charlie Cox.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally everyone who wants Daredevil to be in that movie wants it to be Charlie Cox. So
yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't do it. Like everybody, there's not a single person. I mean, I'm sure there's a person who doesn't like Charlie Cox as Daredevil, but they're stupid.
I promise you,
the vast minority.
I promise you, people will fight Disney and Marvel if they cast anybody else.
Yeah, no, honestly.
Especially because Charlie Cox has said that he wants to come back.
Yeah, it's actually really sad because he before they canceled it after season 3, he's even said that he turned down roles because he was for sure that there was gonna be a season 4.
Yeah.
So he was all set to.
Yeah, return. And I want them to bring back Foggy and Karen Page because Karen Page went on the girl that played her, went on a podcast or a talk show, I can't remember, saying that since Daredevil has been canceled, she can't find work. Yeah. And I can't say his name. Who played Kingpin?
Benicio or why can't I say
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Vincent D'Onofrio, yeah.
Yeah. Him and John Bernthal both came out and spoke in defense. She's a great actress. I really hope to see her in more things. Mm-hmm. So it's just sad that these people aren't getting stuff after Daredevil, and they would be so perfect to just come back.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, especially since it would pick up their career.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it also, I mean, like I said, I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but it'd be really cool to have like Daredevil think that at the beginning of the movie, have Daredevil think that Spider-Man is an enemy, because with how Far From Home the mid-credit scene happened, he was outed as a framed for Mysterio's murder. So like the movie could open with him hunting Spider-Man, but then quickly realizing that he's innocent and starting to represent him.
And the big thing is going on is that it's already been confirmed that there's going to be a lawyer in the movie, right?
Oh yeah. That was confirmed a little while back.
Yeah.
And before Daredevil, people were suspecting it'd be She-Hulk.
Yeah, since she's getting her own Disney Plus show.
But now everybody's on board with Daredevil.
Everybody like. Make it Disney. Make it Charlie Cox as Daredevil. That's the only option.
Make something good come out of this pandemic with movies being delayed and everything.
That's the only option that can end in peace.
And then if they decide to bring... Because we were talking about the Marvel Netflix shows. Iron Fist and Luke Cage were obviously the weakest. Iron Fist being way weaker than Luke Cage. But everybody was casted perfect except for Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So they really need to bring back all the defenders. Minus, they can recast Luke Cage, or not Luke Cage, Iron Fist. I'm perfectly fine. But everybody else was so perfect.
Yeah, I honestly, because I mean, as much as I want them to recast Iron Fist, if they brought back everybody, it'd be weird if they didn't bring back him. So if they can get him to act right and fix his character, then I don't mind him coming back.
Yeah.
And actually give him the costume, because the costume.
And who knows?
Awesome.
He might not be a bad actor. People don't realize that acting doesn't just come from the actor.
Exactly.
It comes from the director. It comes from everything around it. And considering how bad that show was, it could have just been a thing of like he had a bad director and bad,
which they need to stop hiring
writing.
that guy.
Oh yeah, the guy who did Iron Fist.
We might have talked about it on the podcast, but this guy that directed the first season of Iron Fist, he also directed, what was that one in?
Oh, the Inhumans.
Inhumans that did awful.
Which was like the only MCU bomb.
Yeah, that one, and the 8th season of Dexter, which is known as the worst ending to a show
ever. So
stop giving this guy a job, because he obviously sucks.
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's some of the main ones.
Yeah.
That's the main ones.
But
I know there's some Lucasfilms one, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Final Indiana Jones film.
Hayden Christensen is going to be returning as Darth Vader.
Yeah.
In the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney
Which I'm kind of curious how they're going to do that, because, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he gets all burned up. Yeah. So, like, is it... And obviously, James Earl Jones is probably going to come back as the voice. Yeah. So I'm wondering how they're going to have...
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be in the suit anytime he's on screen. But I'm sure they're... Oh, I'm not sure, but maybe they'll have, like, scenes with his helmet off. Because there's, like, at least, like, one scene in the original trilogy where he didn't have... Well, I mean, before the ending, obviously. Yeah. Where he was in it, like, that one little pod room or whatever. Yeah. And he had his helmet off. So maybe it'll be like that. Or maybe it'll be flashbacks. I know people are excited with Rosario Dawson playing the live action Ahsoka Tano. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the character's name. But they're wanting them to have a scene together. Yeah. Because they were really close in Clone Wars. Yeah. Apparently, I haven't seen Clone Wars yet. Yeah. I want to though. But
yeah, there's a few of them. There's the Indiana Jones, final Indiana Jones film being released. Star Wars: The Bad Batch. A whole bunch of Star Wars shows. Mm-hmm. Some Pixar stuff like Baymax.
The Lightyear.
Lightyear.
Chris Evans is gonna play him, which people don't realize that he's not replacing Tim Allen. He's playing Buzz Lightyear, in the movie that the toy was based on.
Yeah, the real Buzz Lightyear. One of the real Buzz Lightyear. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. The real one in this. Well, the
person.
Yeah, in that world.
Yeah, in that world.
In that world of Toy Story, he's playing the real Buzz Lightyear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Cars, stuff like that, Pixar movies, and a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, a whole bunch. I don't want to go through all of them. This is a list of 52 things, so I'm not going to go through 52 of them.
It is
we've talked about the main ones that we were excited for.
Which is kind of crazy because like for the longest, like the first year that Disney Plus has been going on, like this past year, like their only good thing that they had going for them was a Mandalorian.
Yeah. Because like when it first started, people jumped on because of the nostalgia. Yeah. You know, like there are so many things from their childhood they wanted to see. But then it was kind of like, okay, now what?
Yeah, nostalgia can only get you so far.
Yeah. And you can only watch the same show so many times, the same movies.
And a lot of their originals weren't like that great.
Yeah, they had Artemis Fowl and stuff.
I never saw that. Seen that, but I've heard such terrible things about that.
I know we might have to watch it for our list, but I'm actually really dreading that one.
Movies
I've actually heard it's like really boring. So.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, The Mandalorian was all they really had going for them. So to know that they actually have a plan, and it's not going to just be, oh, we're going to just release our new movies when they come out to Disney Plus, and now you can watch them on there. Like, it's actually going to be original content,
right?
So exactly. I don't feel like I'm paying for something that's kind of useless.
Yeah. So it's just exciting.
On the other end, though, we got Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
So we talked about it on our last podcast about Warner Brothers' decision to release it to theaters.
Yeah, and all their 2021 movies are going to release them into theaters and to streaming on the same exact day.
Which at the time we were kind of excited until you start finding out what was actually happening.
Yeah, you know? Behind the scenes.
Yeah, and what it is that Warner Brothers made a deal with like AMC theaters. I think all theaters, but AMC's the one that spoke out, basically saying, hey, with Wonder Woman, you know, it's a big movie. We don't know when it's going to end, the pandemic. So is there any way that we can work out where at the same day it comes to theaters, we also release it to HBO Max? And theaters agree, okay, with Wonder Woman, we understand, let's do it. But then Warner Brothers, behind everybody's back.
Everyone's.
Yeah.
Including directors.
Yeah.
Even like Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, like these big directors.
Yeah.
Even.
They had no warning. Warner Brothers just announced it out of nowhere. We're going to release everything.
Yeah.
And so.
Onto streaming.
Yeah, onto streaming. So the problem is that movies like Dune and what's another big one that's coming out that. Into the Heights.
Oh yeah.
John Chu, he's a director.
Yeah.
I'll talk about John Chu first, and then we can talk about Dune. So John Chu, he turned down a lot of offers from like Netflix, Hulu, all these streaming services because he feels like his movie needs to be seen in theaters. Yeah. And that's why he was okay with waiting, and that's why he kept turning down all this money. And then for Warner Brothers to blindside them like he did, like he's upset because he turned down all this money that could have paid for a lot because he wanted people to experience it in theaters and to now know that, and you know, because Warner Brothers had released that, you know, it's only going to be on their streaming service for 30 days. But the problem is that it's going to be easier for people to record them and then pirate these movies.
Especially, I think we talked about last time, especially like you can do screen records now.
Yeah.
And like bootlegs aren't going to be like the crappy qualities that they used to be.
Yeah, they're going to have high definition.
4K versions of these movies.
Yeah, so it's not going to entice people, you know, once this pandemic ends to go to theaters to see these when they can either get it on HBO Max or they've already bootleg it in high quality.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people comment like, "Oh, what do I care with all these directors? They're making their money." I don't think people understand movies, like behind the scenes of movies, right? Whenever you go, like an artist dream, if they paint a picture, is for it to be like on walls, like a museum, right? Because yeah, sure, they're going to get paid for it. But at the end of the day, what they're really wanting is someone to see it in the best possible environment.
Exactly.
Right? That's what they're really wanting.
Yeah.
A good director like Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan, a good director who's not in it solely, obviously they want to get paid for it, right? But who's not in it solely just for money. They're in it for the art and for the best experience, right? Especially Denis Villeneuve and, like I said, Christopher Nolan, just how beautiful their movies can come out to be.
Yeah,
they're wanting it to be shown on a screen because of the art,
right?
You know,
the
experience,
the experience of it. It's not like they're gonna watch it. It's like the way you know it, they're getting mad. They just want to know. People are experiencing that in theaters.
Yeah, and I think I saw one of the quotes that Christopher Nolan said. He said something like, this isn't exactly what he said, but he said something like, filmmakers went to bed thinking they were working for the greatest film company, only to wake up to realize they were working for the worst streaming service.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of people are most of these directors and stuff are pretty much thinking that Warner Brothers is doing this because HBO Max at its release did so bad.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get people to come to their streaming service. And we've talked about this. I don't understand the HBO Go, HBO Max thing anyways, why they switched. But then you're not putting stuff out that's that good on your...
and they didn't make it available for Roku or Amazon Fire Stick until like this week or last week. It was like really recently.
Yeah, and most people have Roku.
Yeah, and Amazon Fire Stick. Yeah,
so what did you expect? It wasn't going to do good if the two main things that people have to use for their streaming, you don't even make it available on.
Yeah, it's especially suspect that they announced that and then they release it on Roku and stuff like that. You know?
Exactly.
And I can't say his name. The Dune.
Denis Villeneuve.
That's how I'm pretty sure it's pronounced.
His comment was that Warner Brothers basically killed the Dune franchise because they filmed the movie to be played on the big screen. Right. The sounds, the music, how the cinematography was all filmed for a big screen. Mm-hmm. And so now these people aren't going to get that experience on, some people have big TVs, but obviously not a big movie screen.
Right.
And so they're not going to get that experience. And so it's basically going to die, Yeah. And that's what he was really frustrated about. And, all these people are still in talks with Warner Brothers to change it. But we're seeing with Amber Heard, Warner Brothers doesn't care.
Yeah, Warner Brothers this year has just completely imploded.
Yeah, they're so
shown their
sketchy.
true colors. Yeah, with this, then the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard thing.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. I don't know if we've talked about it here on this podcast.
I'm pretty sure we did.
How Ray Fisher was talking about how on the set of Justice League, he was treated poorly, and Jason Momoa. First before Jason Momoa backed him up, Warner Brothers released this news article saying that they cast Jason Momoa to voice Frosty the Snowman in live action movie. And then Jason Momoa came out a few days later saying that he supported Ray Fisher and that he had never heard of this Frosty the Snowman story or whatever,
so
or movie.
It's pretty much like Warner Brothers did it as a distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Distraction from everything.
Yeah. And then I also read somewhere that Aquaman 2 is going to have the biggest budget out of any DCEU movie, which I feel is also sketchy because you're not commenting on anything about Amber Heard. You're not firing her, and now it's going to be the biggest budget movie that you've had so far.
And I didn't know that Amber Heard was going to be involved in the reshoots for the Zack Snyder Justice League cut.
Irritating.
Because I thought they were just going to use scenes that she had already filmed, which it was what it was. I wasn't going to be too mad about it because, they already filmed it. Yeah. It was going to be a part of the story already. Yeah. But I didn't know.
It's just like the first Aquaman. It's just.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. But I didn't know because, she just wrapped filming on the reshoots for the Snyder Cut, this week, I think. So, it kind of frustrates me because I was kind of excited for the Snyder Cut, but it's really Warner Brothers?
Yeah, Warner Brothers just it's just proving how sketchy of a company they are, and now that they've basically spat in the face of so many directors, nobody's gonna want to work with them.
Yeah,
and they had to have seen this coming. Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we said in the last podcast we had, but it just hits even harder right now. The fact of the matter is that whenever you go to a theater. Mm-hmm. Your memory of a movie is so much more. It soaks in more. Yeah, it soaks in more.
Yeah.
Than your memory of a movie just watching it at home.
Yeah.
You can watch, especially how many they're releasing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just watch one, whatever, there it is. Watch one, there it is. And then that might be okay for when it comes to these some of the little movies that are gonna be releasing, but when it comes to things like Dune. Tenet. Is it gonna be Tenet that's gonna be doing it?
Well,
Tenet's already out, but I'm sure they're gonna release the streaming service once they start.
Just Into the Heights, all these movies that were made to be in theaters, it's gonna be completely gone.
Which Into the Heights, if y'all don't know what that is, it's a musical that Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, he wrote the music for it, and the main character is gonna be one member of the original cast of Hamilton.
Yeah.
And then John Chu directed Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a pretty big thing, pretty big movie that was gonna be coming out to theaters.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
I also feel like movies don't get as much hype whenever they're released to streaming services rather than released to theaters.
Yeah,
because like there's so many things being released to streaming services.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard for a movie to get hype, unless it's like a Marvel movie or something. But
yeah, I feel bad for. And another comment that I've been seeing a lot is people are like, why do I care about these directors? They're still making millions.
Yeah.
Why should I care that they're whining? And that's another thing. You know, you talked about the art, but people also don't realize how many people go into making a movie.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the directors are going to make the most money, but you have the set people, you have the costume designers, the light people.
Right.
Like, these people need to get paid too.
Yeah, and when they need to have their art.
Yeah,
they're a piece of the art.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Is that movies are so many art forms put together.
Yeah.
That's another beautiful thing about movies. You know, it's just so many art forms put together in one thing. You know, and all these people, they want to see it. They worked hard for that.
Yeah.
To be put on screen.
And they wanted to see how it was going to be perceived on the big screen, how people were going to react. Like, we talked about it last time, you know, with like Infinity War and Endgame. Obviously, the movie people weren't there in the theaters, you know, but there was recordings of people like erupting after, you know, that had to have made them happy to see that a movie, whoever worked on that movie, like, this was hard work and these people are loving it.
Yeah.
So
no, exactly. But anyways,
we have a minute and a half left.
We have a minute and a half left.
That went by fast.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of news that happened the past week or two.
Yeah. We'll try to film another one here soon.
Yeah. So and talk about more stuff that we're planning on talking about, but we didn't have time. But yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, and also, just real quick, we do have a video that's coming up on our Two Awesome Men channel where we talk about I'm Thinking of Ending Things, the Netflix movie. Yeah. So that should be up pretty soon, probably after this goes up. But,
yeah, it's a more depth reason of. It's not completely a review. It's just a more in-depth reason.
Yeah, of one thing we didn't like about it.
Yeah. Anyways, that'll be it for us. If you like us, you can go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, or you can just subscribe to us on whatever podcast app you use. Yeah. You can go to our channel, Two Awesome Men, and subscribe to that channel. We'll put more videos of that on that here soon. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching or listening, and you will see us later, hopefully next week, and that'll be good.